playing that Ferrari in the background. Everyone loves that sound. Yeah, that's the sound America loves to hear. High carbon. The high carbon whine of a Ferrari, there's just something about it in the afternoon. Nothing like it. Instead of worrying about Obama the communist, I'd rather listen to the sound of a Ferrari engine. Let me ask you something. I'm going to talk about Ferrari and how the company got where it is and the adversity that the original Ferrari had to overcome to create his company, and how the government never helped them and never would and never will, and how government help only kills and destroys and actually stops the development of businesses rather than starts them, in a moment. But first, play the sound again of the Ferrari going around a racetrack so the people know what I'm talking about. I love the sound of Ferraris in the afternoon. I have a question for you. Are you better off now since Obama took office? That's what I want to know. I want to know if you liberals are actually better off now. And moreover, I want to ask another question on the Savage Nation. Are you more or less optimistic about the future since Obama took power? It's a simple question. Do you feel more hopeful for the future of America, and if so, why? Or do you feel less hopeful for the future of America, and if so, why? Or do you feel absolutely nothing because you're too stupid to know what's going on? And you don't even drink tea, and you hate tea parties even though you don't drink tea. Now, I want to talk about Ferrari again, so play that sound one more time. I was watching CNBC last night while reheating a piece of chicken in the kitchen. Typical power dinner Sunday night in the house. I went to the supermarket and got a pre-cooked chicken. I got some rice and reheated it. Got out some frozen peas and heated them. Drank 2 or 3 beers. And I turned on CNBC at my power dinner. It was me and Teddy, you see. The kind of dinner I actually prefer, of me in front of a television with a dinner. There's a lot to be said for nobody around, incidentally. Don't underestimate the power of solitude. And I clicked on CNBC, and they were running a show on, I don't know, it was on Ferrari, the company. And what amazed me was what I learned about the Ferrari story. I knew nothing about it. It was about car maker Enzo Ferrari. Here's a man who had numerous obstacles to overcome in his life. What were they? When he was young, his father died. His brother killed in World War I. He's conscripted, drafted into World War I. He gets a deadly illness on the front. He's left to die in a hospital. All the other men die. He doesn't die. He comes out. He's merely a mechanic, actually not even a mechanic at that time. His father had owned a metallurgy company, some kind of manufacturing of metals of some kind. And he has to strike out on his own. But he was always in love with racing cars. And he became a car racer. But he didn't succeed as Ferrari and build a brand called Ferrari because a welfare check came from Oprah Winfrey. He didn't succeed because he got a bailout from Barney Frank. Ferrari succeeded, I learned, because he struggled on his own, and he fought on his own, and he didn't let adversity defeat him. But let me tell you something else. He wasn't always a nice guy about it. He was vindictive. When he was rejected by Fiat, Ferrari swore that he would get even with them. He would get revenge. And eventually he did. He defeated them on the racetrack. The point is that sometimes negative emotions, so-called negative emotions, hatred, rage, anger, the desire for revenge, they actually can motivate people to succeed. But today, if a young man swears revenge against someone who has slighted him, he is either drugged or taken to a psychiatrist. Do you think it would be possible for an Enzo Ferrari to succeed in Obama's America? Would his parents, if they were alive, have just told him to sit back and wait for a stimulus check? Don't you think we're destroying the motivation of the young men and women for the future by removing their motivation? Maybe the government figures it's safer to send angry young men checks and put them on drugs rather than take the risk that they might build an industry or find a cure for a disease or lead America back to its rightful place in the world. These are my thoughts about Ferrari and overcoming adversity. There was one other note from the show that stuck in my mind that I wrote down with a greasy chicken hand. And it was this. He always came out for the bell, and he never gave up from a fight. And I said, my God, this is motivational. And so I thought I'd start the show with that today to show you how far we have fallen as a nation. Because Ferrari, although he was from Italy, represented what was once commonplace in America. Maybe it was your grandfather. Maybe it was your father. Maybe it was your grandmother. Maybe it's even you, where you fought and you fought and you fought and you asked nobody for anything, and all you wanted was people to get out of your way to build what you have. And now look what we have now, a sad sack college teacher from Chicago, a radical communist at that, surrounded by very, very evil men who would like to drag us all into the back channels of the past, back into Maoist China, telling us, leave it to us. We know better than you. Us and Mad Bela Lugosi in the House of Representatives and Harry Reid will do everything for you. We'll give you health care. We'll give you government care. If your business fails, it doesn't matter. We'll pick up the tab. Idiots leading us to the abyss and beyond. At least those are my thoughts. If you have any thoughts on this topic, keep them to yourself. Or call 1-800-449-8255. By the way, you want to hear about adversity? How about me? Now you say, well, I don't want to hear it anymore. You're going to hear about it anyway. The book is out. The print is shipped Friday. You're getting them this week. Many of you bought them. Many thousands of you bought Banned in Britain. You know what I stumbled upon in that book that I didn't even know about? It ties right into what I'm going to talk about today on the Savage Nation. The reason I was banned in Britain is not so much for what I may or may not have said. It's because Michael Savage stands for borders, language, and culture. And the New World Order, and you know who the New World Order is. It's Obama, it's Carter, it's Clinton, it's Bush, it's Republican, it's Democrat alike. All the elites, both here and in Europe, want national identities to be snuffed out. They want to snuff national sovereignty. They want to make one big happy family around the world. And they figured they'd take out a man who spoke most clearly in defining what a nation is. They punished me for having defined more clearly what a nation is than anybody in the history of the written word. I defy anyone listening to this show to show to me somebody who has more clearly defined what a nation is than Michael Savage. I defined it in '94 as an entity defined by borders, language, and culture. The New World Order stands for no borders, many languages, and no culture, multiculturalism. And they actually are running a conspiracy to destroy England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the United States of America. I'll be right back.
Savage.
Sound of a Ferrari when it was still a Ferrari, and we're talking about overcoming adversity. I mean, you say Ferrari, you figure the guy was born rich and inherited the company, and it's not true. He built it from nothing, absolutely nothing. And the man was a real man. He had adversity. He overcame it. He also had a lot of desire for revenge against the Fiat family for dissing him, which I'll tell you more about it another time. Today, emotions like that, as I said to you before, anger, hate, rage, the desire to get even, those are human emotions that drive men, if they know how to channel them, into creating things. To get even is a wonderful thing. But today, when we live in this damn nanny state, if a man actually expresses that, he's considered mentally ill. Well, I say that the leaders are mentally ill. I say the mental health profession is filled with the sickest people on earth. And I say that the entertainment industry is filled with the most degenerate people on earth. The psychos in the entertainment industry are beyond belief.